Kendrick's best albums and songs off of the albums. Untitled Unmastered is Kendrick's weakest album to me, as it doesn't have a great deal of storytelling to it, as it is a throwaway album, and for this reason, it's going at number 7. Untitled 08 is my favourite off of the album, with 02 and 05 just behind. These are for no particular reason, I just prefer it over the other songs on the album. Overall, Untitled Unmastered is 6.5 out of 10. Section 80 being at number 6 is going to annoy some people, and that's understandable, but I don't find myself going back to it as much as the other albums above it. Kendrick does have some great songs on this album, but also some of his worst songs are on this album, such as No Makeup. ADHD, Rigor Mortis, and Ronald Reagan era being my favourite is self-explanatory. They're groovy, sound nice, you can play them anytime, anywhere you want. Damn is Kendrick's most streamed album, and does have some great songs on it, such as Duckworth, Element, XXX, those being my favourite. But for the same reason for Section 80, I just don't come back to this album as much as others. Duckworth being the best off of the album is mainly because it's a great storytelling song and one of his best out of all his songs, but also because it's a song that got me into Kendrick and the whole reason I listen to him now. Overall, I'm going to give Damn a 7.5 out of 10. GNX isn't a bad album, and honestly, I really liked it, but once again, I just don't enjoy there being no plot to the album. Don't get me wrong, I love the idea of bringing underground West Coast rappers into the mainstream world, but I just don't think it can compete with the next few albums I have above it. Man at the Garden is my favourite, as I like the slow pace on it. I also enjoyed Reincarnated and Luther. Overall, GNX is an 8 out of 10. T-Pad being at number 3 may seem crazy to a lot of people, which is understandable, but I don't see this album as great as others put it. Now, with that said, it is still a great album that has a few of his best songs out of his whole discography. How Much a Dollar Costs, Wesley's Theory, and These Walls are my top 3 off of the album. Overall, T-Pad is a 10 out of 10. Good Kid, Mad City was my favourite Kendrick album for a while, as it has some amazing songs like Sammy Dot, Swimming Pools, Money Trees, Mad City, Good Kid, and Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe. Good Kid, Mad City at 2 is normal for a lot of people, but usually under T-Pad. I have Good Kid, Mad City at 2, as to me this album doesn't hit me the same as the next album. Good Kid, Mad City is great for bangers and storytelling, but it doesn't make me think about myself as I didn't grow up in Compton or in a gang affiliated area. Good Kid is personally my favourite song off the album, as it just feels so nice, and the intro before Kendrick starts his verse is like heaven. Sammy Dot and Swimming Pools are a close second and third. Overall, this album is a 10 out of 10. In the number 1 spot, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. A lot of people didn't like Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers when it came out, and at that point, I wasn't a Kendrick fan. But in 2023, when I gave it my first proper listen, I couldn't get enough of it, and as time went on, I went from 3 Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers songs on my playlist to 5, to now almost the whole album. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is unique to Kendrick's other albums as it's about him, but it's also for us, as Kendrick talks about therapy, his childhood, and how he's dealt with many of his problems in the past. These are all things made for people who deal with issues and for people who have no one to talk to. This album made me take a hard look at myself and change the way I think about people and myself. It also taught me to be sensible, and it's okay to put myself before others. Mirror is my favourite off of the album, with Saviour and Count Me Out being close second and third. Overall, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a 10 at the highest degree possible. Well, thank you very much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and leave a like for next time.